In this video, I want to talk to you about the different types of bias and unconscious bias and why that can be problematic. As I said before, we can have bias towards all kinds of things, towards colors, a cuisine, a holiday destination, and other human beings. And in this video, I want to focus on our bias towards other human beings. Throughout our life, we develop these biases based on gender, age, race, education, social status, sexuality, religion, and beliefs. There's different types of bias in the literature, and one that I find really interesting and important to mention is the affinity bias. The affinity bias is that we have a preference for people that are similar to us. And that is explained really easily because we meet so many people and we have to make decisions based on who we trust. Now, without knowing people, it's really hard to trust them. And if people are in some way familiar to us, there's this sense of knowing, there's this sense of reference that we feel like we can trust them because they don't seem foreign to us. And we actually feel like they are similar like us, they might think like us, they might have the same experiences as us. So it's going to be a safe bet to engage with these people or to become friends with these people. Now, bias in itself, as I said before, is not a bad thing. It helps us to make decisions quickly, it helps us to navigate in this world, it helps us to stay safe. But it can become an issue if it forces us or if actually it makes us act and behave in a certain way that treats other people unfairly or discriminates. And the issue that we have is unconscious bias, where without even noticing, we're doing these behaviors and actions that are putting other people in lesser positions or treating them even unfairly and badly. Because if it's unconscious, it means that we don't know about it. And if we're unaware that it's happening, it's really hard to do something about it. So that's why it's important that we bring attention to our unconscious bias and to what our unconscious bias might drive us to do. Again, not all unconscious bias is bad because, as I said before, most of our patterns in our brain happen unconsciously and they help us to operate. But it becomes bad if it affects other people negatively. Examples for unconscious bias that might have a negative effect could be that we overlook certain people for promotions because they're not like us, or we make some assumptions about them. If we look at resumes of people for interviews and people have a foreign sounding name, we might not invite them because, again, we feel like we don't trust them and we find some kind of reference point to make a decision. It also could be that we meet a disabled person and because we don't know what to say, we feel uncomfortable and we avoid them altogether and we don't talk to them. All of these might not actually be that you have consciously bad intentions, but unconsciously, because you want to feel safe and you want to make the best decision for you, you are actually creating an unsafe and uneven playing field for other people. Now, I have to mention here that, of course, there is people who consciously decide to engage in hate, to be violent, and to discriminate. And that is definitely a problem. But what I want to achieve with this video is that I want to bring awareness to you, for you, to unconscious bias. Because people like you and I, who don't actively engage in any racist behavior, who would even think that we are not racist, and who don't have any bad intentions, we still might engage with our behaviors in creating an uneven playing field. Without knowing, unconsciously, we still might be discriminating. So it is important that we focus and shed a light on our unconscious bias and we start to challenge ourselves and challenge our thinking and our behaviors to start to make sure that we act and treat everybody the same. In the next video, I will share my tips with you of how you can do that. How can you uncover your bias, your unconscious bias, and challenge it and start to take action to reduce the negative impact it might have. If you have any comments, feel free to send me a message or comment on this post, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.